Everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on this first webinar from the Center for Financial Social Work in 2022. I hope you're all well, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be glad you joined us because we have a lot of wonderful information to share with you. And we can just go ahead and get started. My name is Reeta Wolfsohn, and I am the founder of Financial Social Work, and you'll learn more about that as we go on. So, it's just the most commonly asked questions. You can check the chat box for any messages. These slides are proprietary. We don't share them. The recording will be up on our website and Facebook page and YouTube in the next day or two. You can type your questions into the question box and we'll answer as many as time permits. If you have any technical issues, there's a link you can click to have those taken care of. So I always start with just a few moments of relaxation because I know that when we talk about money, it brings up a lot of different things for people. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and a slow exhale and another inhale and another slow exhale. And this is our financial social work affirmation. I think it really captures what my work is all about. It goes just for today. I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. I will silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with myself and with my past. Just for today, I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life and prepare for a better tomorrow by healing my relationship with my money and myself today. And we will be talking a great deal about that as we go on. So let's start with a quick poll and find out how all of you ended up being with us today. Where did you learn about us? Okay, if you learned from someplace other than on the list, it would be great if you went ahead and put that in the chat box. Okay. So if you want to share any more, go ahead. We have a very clear winner. And it's always good to know. So over 70% of you have voted. So I will close the poll and share it with you. So I spend lots of time sharing the announcement on Twitter, but I see that that's not really getting us too many places. Well, however you got here, I'm really glad you're here. So let's go ahead and dig in. So,
Rita, we have one response that one person get it from NASW online discussion.
oh, super. That's good. That's a good place. Thanks, Olga. Oh, I forgot to introduce Olga. She's here with us, taking care of all things tech and all things that definitely support me and financial social work. So some opening thoughts. I've never done this before, but it's New Year and I thought I'd try it. So today I'm asking you to rethink your relationship with money. And I'm asking you to rethink your relationship with yourself. These are critical components of my work. I'm asking you to recognize how money affects everyone physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. I'm asking you to understand that unhealthy relationships, whether with food, substances, other people, or money, result from an unhealthy relationship with self. And that's why relationship with money and self is so foundational to my work. I'm asking you to identify where money fits in your life. We address many different areas of our lives, and our goal here at the Center for Financial Social Work is to help you think about the role of money in your life. Because as this shows you, this graphic on the bottom left, it affects us over the course of our entire lifetime. And it can't be ignored, or we're going to have problems for sure. And we want you to consider and understand that it costs money. Well, we all know this, but this is a different look at it. It costs money to wake up every day. And if someone is older or a woman, uninsured, or a person of color, if you have a record, an illness or disability, a low credit score, a bankruptcy, or a foreclosure, that lifetime is likely to be more expensive than others over the course of their lifetime. I am asking you, and this is a slide I've taken to including every chance I get to prepare your children for the real world by teaching them about money. It is the only way we can stop generation after generation of financially illiterate men and women. We really need to do everything we can to end financial illiteracy. So we only have 4 polls, and we won't have any more for a good bit more of the session. But I was curious if you would share with me which of those points that I asked you to consider really resonated for you. Okay. Okay. Well, this is good. I'm glad I just added these polls this morning, and I'm glad I did. You can pick more than one, I think. Or no, I don't remember. No, I think you can actually. Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can pick more than one, and I'm going to count it down. We have over 70% who voted, and I thank you for doing that. 3, 2, 1, and I will share it with you. Okay, 75%. That's a lot. Thank you all. So, relationship with money. It's interesting how money affects every area of life. That would be the most popular one, but I feel comfortable that they're spread out, those responses, and happy that you all voted. A little surprised about relationship with self, and I will be talking about that because it is such an important part of financial health and wellness. So, a brief overview of the story of financial social work. I started all of this exactly 25 years ago, and we will be celebrating that in the course of 2022. And I started it with the word feminomics, and I gave that word the definition of the gender of money based on the fact that women earn less, they live longer, are often charged more for products and services, and the list goes on. And the Constitution does not guarantee equal rights for women. And we are very much experiencing that in real time in 2022. So in 2020, a lot of things changed because of the pandemic and Black Lives Matter. And people seem to really recognize and connect to the need to help clients more with their finances. And then came the roller coaster ride of 2021 with Delta, Omicron, the Great Resignation, on again, off again, subsidies, the January 6th insurrection. These years have been difficult for all of us. And it's really fascinating to me, the recognition for financial health and wellness as it grows. And we have graduates across the country and around the world. And you can see here England, Finland, Israel, Japan. And we really feel privileged to be a part of the lives of all of our students and graduates. So, a little bit about financial social work. It is the intersection of social work, politics, the economy, gender, economic, and social justice, and all inequity. And those are just some of the topics that not only we address, but that need addressed at this intersection. It is an interactive, reflective, strengths-based model that's educational, motivational, and supportive. It is holistic, multidisciplinary, and healing, hopeful, helpful, and it works beautifully with individuals as well as with groups. It is a behavioral model, and it is at the core about relationship with money and self. And that is a theory that I've been expanding on for quite a few years now. We are heavily psychosocial. We explore the fundamentals of financial health, thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, experiences, and values that drive financial behavior, which we define as how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. We have, as helping professionals and social workers, a personal, professional, and ethical responsibility to ourselves and our clients to address the financial component of mental, behavioral, and emotional health. We really do. Because given the importance and impact of finances on clients, agencies, and communities, financial social work, according to Matt Schwartz and many of our graduates, it should be considered a key component of social work education and a core competency. So January of every year brings lots of resolutions and goals, but I wanted to start with something a little different this year and have spent the past few months creating this new ebook that we are launching with all of you today. And, okay, why am I stuck? There we go. So, the 5 secrets of financial health and wellness. And these are secrets or methods that I've identified in my 25 years devoted to this work. And I do not know why. There we go. So it's about healing your relationship with your money. It takes courage to be imperfect, but we're all imperfect and we must love ourselves. Imperfections and all, it's called self-acceptance. And as much as that has to do with your relationship with your money, it also has to do with your relationship with yourself. And I do not know why I am having trouble advancing these slides. So the first thing we want everyone to do is to stop blaming money for all of your financial problems. It's so easy to do. And what it does is allow people to avoid facing their financial problems and issues. See, your money doesn't choose how you spend it. You do. Each of us does. We take the cash or the credit card from our wallet and tap or click on the app that makes the purchase. Money isn't our enemy or our friend. It's what we use to get the things we need and want. We exchange a part of our lives for it when we go to work each day. And this is a universal truth that is not universally understood. We have to make the better our choices, the better our results. And that's a lot of what financial social work focuses on. We need to forgive ourselves for past financial mistakes. Your future is up to you and no one else, just as it should be. So it's about taking responsibility for our financial futures, but paying attention and making certain that we don't stay stuck in the past because we've made financial mistakes. Everyone does. So get started forgiving yourself by asking yourself, what purpose does staying trapped in the past serve for you? Then consider what a less financially stressful life would look like for you. And picture a more financially stable and healthy money life for yourself so that you have the skills and the tools to create and support it. Focusing on past money mistakes keeps you stuck, so it's time to let go of the past because you really do deserve better and more. Now we come to nurture your relationship with yourself. And that's critical because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. And it matters because what you think and believe about yourself contributes to your financial behavior. If you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel deserving, you're not likely to take control of your money in order to gain control of your life. So your financial behavior, how you earn, spend, save, share, and borrow, does determine your financial circumstances. And it really is as simple and as complicated as that. And we know it. And that's why we do the things we do to help the profession and all helping professionals and all of your clients. Because we all have a responsibility and we know that to help others, to take care of others and the less fortunate. We also have a responsibility and need for self-care. And it's more important than ever today because of the exploding mental health problems that all of us are seeing. So self-care is an essential component of your relationship with yourself. And this matters because improving your self-worth really does increase your net worth. Because when you feel better about yourself, you feel more hopeful, you're more open to doing the things that create better financial health and wellness. No one understands you better than yourself. So stop confusing your self-worth with your net worth. They are very different. And remember that in all the world, there really is only one you. And no one does you better than you do. Embrace who you are, imperfections and all, and know that you do have the ability to grow, to learn, and to change. Stop confusing your self-worth with your net worth. So do that by accepting you are good enough, you know enough, You are where you need to be for now, but that doesn't mean you have to be there forever. You can work to be in a better place in the future, and you're able to do that. And I talk a lot about self acceptance and the fact we should never live life without it. So, another ask I have for you today is to identify your financial fears, anxieties, and problems. If you have a pencil nearby, make a note to do that. Naming and putting those fears and anxieties into words, it gives you the ability to identify which are helpful and which are not, and to determine which to keep and which to let go of, because many of them are not real and they're holding you back and keeping you stuck. So the need for personal and professional self-care has grown in recent years, but not so much with financial self-care. So I have a few suggestions, and all of this will be included in our brand new ebook that we will launch with you shortly. And it's about knowing there is hope. There is always hope. And it's about speaking up and advocating for yourself, embracing change, knowing what you know, not denying it, be more self acceptance, paying attention to yourself and your life. And we won't go through all of these, but you can take a quick glance, and then you can either watch our recording of the video of this training or go through these in the new ebook. So finally, to summarize, relationship with money and self-theory that I've been developing all these years, we know at the Center for Financial Social Work that before anyone experiencing financial trauma, stress, and problems, before they can cope with the dollars, cents, debt, math, or budgets and crises, they truly must heal their relationship with their money and with themselves. So, secret number 3, understand and avoid financial profiling. I could have put in a poll here and asked you if you'd ever heard of financial profiling. If you're a graduate of the financial social work certification, you have. Otherwise, you very well may not have. We are a nation built on debt. We depend on tomorrow's dollars to pay for today's consumption. And the end result is spiraling debt, individual and business and country. We all are experiencing a tremendous amount of debt. At the beginning and over the first year of COVID, with the subsidies, a lot of people actually did pay down debt. But when they ended, debt started growing again, and it is growing now too. So that contributes to physical, mental, emotional, and social problems. And you see depression, anxiety, hypertension. The list is very, very long. And we covered that in previous trainings, and those recordings are all on our website. We do know that it's much easier to get into debt than to get out of it, and that creates a lot of mental health problems and issues that result, such as isolation, anxiety, self-medicating, problems in relationships, and increase in suicides. And we've shared those statistics in past trainings also. So according to the dictionary, profiling is the act or process of extrapolating information about a person based on known traits or tendency. And we're most familiar with that, I believe, when we talk about racial profiling. But credit scores, and we all have one, target a person based on those observed characteristics or behavior. And that's why I developed this concept of financial profiling. And I introduced my theory of financial profiling, which is discrimination based on a person's FICO or credit score. I launched that, introduced it over a decade ago. And here it is, discrimination based on your credit score. And I'm pretty certain everyone joining us today is familiar with credit scores. So the record of every purchase you put on your credit score, on your credit card, is the equivalent of a financial fingerprint. The details, when and how quickly you pay it off, are comparable to a police record as it becomes part of your credit history or record. And there are 3 major credit reporting agencies you should all know about: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. We've done numerous trainings and had the director of education of Experian do trainings for us, and those recordings are all under resources on our website. These credit reporting agencies collect and store your credit information and activities, and they charge a fee for supplying that information to you, and to businesses, and to banks. So they take our information and they profit from it. So, which statement, this is our next to the last poll, which statement about financial profiling made the most sense to you? And you can pick more than one. Okay. Over 50% of you have taken the poll. So can we get back up to 75%? Okay. I'm going to count it down and close it and share it. Okay. Close it and share it. Well, it does affect almost everyone. It is definitely a major factor in social and economic injustice. And it is a very helpful way of explaining credit scores and helping clients understand them. And I'm sorry that some of you think it doesn't make sense. We can talk about that later if you have some questions. All right, I'm going to hide that and we'll go back and do secret number 4. We need to know that money management is absolutely not an elective in this life. It's a core life skill needed by all. We need to own our financial future. No one else knows what you need or want, and no one else can really help you get it. That's why it's up to you. You are the expert on you. I need to move this over. Okay. It doesn't really matter whether you make $20,000 or $120,000. Your financial future depends on your financial choices, and those depend on how you earn, spend, save, share, borrow, and invest today. Now, I know that everyone would rather make the larger income than the smaller, but I have worked with clients in both of those income ranges and found that sometimes people with more money just spend more money than they're earning, and those with less do spend less. They're smarter and more savvy. So, everyone's financial experiences and circumstances differ, but we all know about the B word for budgets. And no one really loves the B word. The budgets are seriously undervalued because they're considered punitive or associated with deprivation. And that's not what they're meant to be at all. We call it a personal spending and savings plan. And clients like that, I think probably because it has the word spending in it. But too often, clients have been told that they need a budget. And do they need a budget? Yes. Does everyone need a budget? Yes. But only a little over 50% of Americans have a budget, and not that large a percentage of those men and women stick with their budget. But budget or personal spending and savings plan allows you to know how much money you have, how much you need, and where your money is going. It gives you the information you need for making more knowledge-based financial decisions. We need the skills and information and knowledge to make the best financial choices. So the past is gone, along with whatever reasons you had for spending rather than saving. So you can start today to save money to spend in the future and accept the fact that the person looking back at you in the mirror does absolutely have the potential to become a saver. What's interesting that I've learned over these many years is that we think that the people with the most expensive clothes and cars and vacations are the wealthiest. But a large percentage of the time, people who are wealthy aren't spending their money in that way. They're looking to see what everyone else is doing and wearing and buying, and they're investing in those companies instead of spending their hard earned money there. So, we have a number of ways to motivate you to save and invest, and they are helpful. The one down on the right hand corner is one of the most important, and that is pay yourself first. And that means that you make yourself a priority, and before even paying your bills, you put a designated amount into your savings account. And I think this is the last piece of Secret 4, and it is a really important one, and that is to create an estate plan. Estate plan definitely isn't just for the wealthy, it's for all of us. And it's particularly important for those with children so that you make certain as much as possible that they would be taken care of in the event that something happened to you. It is the effort to prepare for what happens after you die. And of course, no one wants to think about dying, but arranging for that reality is an essential part of living. And a lot of people just feel, I don't have an estate. But You can try thinking about it as a personal disaster prevention plan, because it's your plan to prevent family and financial disaster in case of illness, emergency, or death. So you really need to know more about this and develop it in a way that will be helpful in the case of an emergency. So your estate equals your property and possessions, consists of everything and anything you own. And regardless of what you do or don't own, you need to select someone to act on your behalf should something happen to you. And you do that to prevent your assets from going to the government for taxes or to attorneys for legal fees. And your estate plan includes a medical proxy that indicates the person you want to make your healthcare decisions if you're unable to, and a living will, which identifies how you want to be cared for if you're judged to be in a terminal, irreversible medical condition requiring life support. And most of you are familiar with HIPAA, I imagine, the federal law that sets rules and limits for who can look at your medical records or health information. And you need the HIPAA authorization because it allows you to name an individual to have access to your medical information so your healthcare provider or insurance company can share your information with the people you've authorized. So the living will puts your wishes in writing. It's a legal document that needs to be signed, witnessed, and properly executed. You need to make certain the person you designate to act on your behalf knows how you want things handled. And that person is able to identify what you want on your behalf if something happens and you are not able to make calls, pay rent or mortgage or bills. If you do not have a durable power of attorney, a court-ordered guardianship may be necessary, and that can be time-consuming and expensive. And we finish up with secret number 5. You don't need to know everything about money, just certain things. At some point in time, knowingly or unknowingly, you or someone you care about allowed financial problems and stress into your life. But just because it's a presence today does not mean it has to be a presence forever. It does not. How would you describe the financial lens through which you view your life? Think about it. Would you say it's optimistic, hopeful, fearful? Your money lens matters because most decisions have a cost component, which is inevitably a determining factor. Want to have a baby? See a doctor? Take time to care for a sick parent or new baby? All of these have a dollars and cents component and have to be considered. Ignoring this reality keeps your financial life mired in anxiety, fear, and insecurity. We need to stop avoiding our finances. So here we have good ideas for you to practice on healthy money habits instead of some that you may be using and aren't even aware are harmful. These are also in the new ebook, or you can come back and go through them on the recording. All behavior is purposeful. We learn that very quickly and early in our master's programs. There are reasons we do the things that prevent us from experiencing better outcomes, even though we don't know what they are. When you identify the purpose of these behaviors, you're ready to improve your financial and overall health and wellness. So all our behavior is purposeful, and we are always behaving in an effort to either belong, seek power, freedom, fun, and survival. Whatever your reasons, they cheat you in every area of your life. Your financial circumstances affect the work you do, the choices you have, the decisions you make, the relationships you develop, the family you create, and the opportunities available to you. Figure out how best to heal your financial health, your relationship with your money, your relationship with yourself, so that you can stop cheating yourself in this very important part of your life. As we started out in this particular secret, no one can or needs to know everything about money, but everyone needs to know certain things about money. And so we put together a list that, while it has not much to do with the dollars and cents, has everything to do with self-care and healing the relationship with yourself. Like, identify your spending triggers so you can avoid them, getting enough sleep, recognizing whatever triggers your mental, physical, and financial stress and avoiding that, bringing joy into your life, prioritizing what's important in your life, and planning ahead, making time to relax and exercise, and making sure to reach out when you need more help than you're getting. In the ebook and in quite a few of my ebooks, I do include a commitment pledge, and I hope that you do make it to yourself, because it's a great tool to refer to when you may find yourself struggling around either one of the secrets or some of the financial problems you're dealing with or clients are dealing with. So here we have the 5 secrets of financial health and wellness. Heal your relationship with your money, nurture your relationship with yourself, understand and avoid financial profiling, take ownership of your financial future, and understand you don't need to know everything about money, just certain things. So, this is our final poll, which of the 5 secrets resonated most for you? And you can pick more than one. Okay. Give it a few more seconds. And I didn't mean to close it, but I did. So here's our results. So take ownership of your financial future. So important. Nurture, heal. I wish I had done a better job with financial profiling. It's so important. Okay, well, let me hide that and we can finish up. Okay, so thank you for that, everyone. So, some additional resources that we have. We today are launching our new ebook, and you can go to this link, and Olga will also share with you the link and download it. I'm so excited. But just as important, we have a new partner program that's going to benefit everyone who is part of our financial social work community. So we have students and graduates, thousands of students and graduates across the country and around the world, and they refer many others to our program. And we decided to demonstrate our appreciation with a $50 referral fee. Plus, when you refer someone, that person gets a $50 discount when he or she makes that purchase. The process is very simple and the opportunity is open to everyone. So you need to log into the Financial Social Work website, and all that requires is your name and email. And if you're on this webinar, you've probably given that to us already. Once you're logged in, you will see that $sign next to the cart. And when you click on it, it will pop up with a link that is uniquely yours. And you can share, as you can see right here, via email, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And if the person you refer it to makes a purchase within 14 days of that click, you get the $50 and they get the $50 discount automatically. They get it at purchase and you are paid within 30 days of the referral. And that's our financial social work partner program that we're very excited about. So next month we have another great free webinar, Till Death Do Us Part. And we kind of thought about that as a love and Valentine concept. And I will be doing the one, we have a guest speaker, Dr. Olga Osby, for that February webinar. And in March, for Social Work Month, I will be doing the cycle of financial self-abuse. We also have many other free ebooks and resources on the website, and we have the wisdom and words of financial social work graduates who write essays about their experiences, the cost of the certification, which is self-study and self-paced, and our students have 6 months to complete and includes all the materials and the final exam, and has a 3-year renewal, is $695. And that concludes this part of the training. Olga, do we have questions?
Yes, we have. This one a little long, but I want to read this fully because it's a good one. Lisa is asking, I'm here for myself. However, my anxieties include being surrounded by many who have no remorse or care for their own past financial mistakes. I don't know how to confront their requests for help money to get them out of a pinch, or how to put the wall up when they constantly complain about their financial worries. I get stuck in and I find myself making poor financial decisions. There is no question, but I think, Rita, maybe you may say something.
So the person asking the question is surrounded by people with financial problems.
Yeah, and who constantly complain about the financial worries, and she gets stuck and find that she can't do financial decisions
Herself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think you need to consider setting some financial boundaries or even personal boundaries. And we've done webinars that we talked about financial boundaries. But, part of nurturing your relationship with yourself We could certainly have had boundaries in that segment, but I think we've included them in previous ebooks. Taking self-care isn't selfish. So when someone is pulling you into a discussion, particularly a financial discussion that you don't want to be part of, you either have to excuse yourself from it, or even better is to have set that boundary that talking about money isn't something that you want to do in most instances. I hope that's helpful.
Okay, thank you, Rita. How do you think understanding financial profiling can actually help clients?
I think it's really beneficial because when we talk about profiling, it can help clients understand the more abstract concept of credit scores. Sometimes clients are pretty knowledgeable about credit scores, but more often they're not. And they're not familiar with the fact that there's the potential to be unable to get certain jobs, to get an apartment, certainly to get a mortgage, because you have a poor credit score. And that score profiles you. It says that you aren't in the position to do the things you want. So I really feel very strongly that that concept offers clients a better way to experience what their credit score does and doesn't do, and to understand the need to work to improve it. I hope that's helpful. I feel so strongly about it.
Tiara is asking, I wanted to know why life insurance wasn't included in the planning for long-term financial planning and leaving an inheritance as opposed to passing down the same financial mistakes to children and grandchildren.
I know the first half was why insurance wasn't included, and it certainly should have and could have been. But you're right, it isn't in there. And there's only so much I can include when creating an ebook. And we will look at that more next time. What was the second part of the question, Olga?
And leaving an inheritance as opposed to passing down the same financial mistakes to children and grandchildren.
Something about an inheritance?
Like the same financial mistakes for children and grandchildren.
Am I hearing that someone wants to know whether it's a good idea to give an inheritance to children and grandchildren and risk them not taking more control of their own financial lives? Is that the question?
I hope so.
Okay, if you're still on, let me know if that's right and I'll answer it better.
Yeah, she replied, utilizing life insurance to provide an inheritance.
For me, for what I know, I don't think that life insurance is meant as an inheritance. To me, it is about protecting assets and making sure that those we leave behind don't end up with financial problems because of our passing. I am no expert on insurance. I know we do have graduates that work with insurance. If anybody's on and they want to go ahead and put that answer in the chat box, I'm open to it. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful. I know they do sell insurance for that purpose, but I don't, everything I've learned does not make that the way to invest. Anything
Okay, thank you. Why would you be willing to give people who refer to financial social work $50 and a $50 discount? That seems like a lot of money.
Well, on one hand, it is a lot of money. On the other hand, we appreciate those referrals. And we are the Center for Financial Social Work. And a few months ago, we actually did the monthly webinar on entrepreneurship and on how we in the helping professions, and particularly we as social workers, can increase income or be more entrepreneurial. And we decided that since people appreciate us so much, we would reciprocate with that $50. And we realized that then the person making the purchase also needed to receive a benefit. We see it as win-win, and we're excited about it and hope you'll become one of our partners. And we've streamlined that ability to do that a lot. So join us. We do all these free things already, and that's just kind of an extension of it.
Okay, thank you. Do you need a background in social work to get certified?
You do not. We have probably as many non-social work graduates as graduates. And because the certification is so heavily psychosocial, behavioral, and reflective, we know that our graduates have the skills and the tools and the knowledge, not only to improve the lives of their clients or work with clients to do that, but it's really important. And I created it intentionally so that our graduates would have those skills and tools and knowledge to improve their own financial futures also.
Okay, thank you. And from Sherry, commented on the previous attendee question, why not create an investment account with the money you would pay into the life insurance policy? That way you can include it in your estate plan, and there will not be any clause that prevents payout to your heirs. Life insurance policies can have all kinds of limits and loopholes. Just a comment, no question.
Well, I thank you, Sherry, for that. That's perfect. I really appreciate that. Any other questions?
There's one question about a quote that you have in the beginning of webinar, but I already explained that we will send a recording. But if you remember it, please repeat. Person likes it a lot. And I think we don't have any other questions.
Well, it is exactly 3 o'clock. So we got in the training and the Q&A. So I thank everyone for joining us. I thank you, Olga, for all of your help. I hope we'll see you back here next month for our monthly free webinar called Till Death Do Us Part. And certainly, I hope you've downloaded the new ebook and you'll spread the word about it and you'll use it personally and professionally. Thanks, everybody. Stay well. Bye now.